Our planet's population continues to grow unchecked. According to the UN, it increases by 79 million people each year. Emerging countries such as India and China are seeing particularly rapid expansion of a new middle class, which is set to grow to 700 million by 2020, a number as large as the population of Europe, with rising incomes. This new middle class from various emerging countries, who have the same material needs as those in the industrialized world, will trigger a massive rise in consumption.
The resources industry is struggling to find enough supply to meet rising demand. The oil industry is already producing at more than 90% of daily capacity. It's becoming increasingly difficult to find new large reserves of oil, and with greater risk, as we found in 2010, with the giant oil spill in the Gulf of Mexico. Within agriculture, the challenge lies in the fact that arable land per person in the world is shrinking and projected to shrink by another 50% between now and 2050. The United Nations already estimates that there are 1 billion chronically hungry or starving people in the world, and that number can only go up in the future. In the metals industry, key new sources of supply growth are coming from countries with above average geopolitical risk. Meanwhile, demand from emerging countries is absolutely booming.
Rising demand for resources is faced with a limited supply and thus creating business opportunities for more efficient or alternative manufacturing approaches. This trend, affecting many finite resources, creates huge investment opportunities. There are various companies that are actively researching and manufacturing replacement materials.
The Danish company Novozymes is an excellent example. It's one of the leaders in the area of industrial biotechnology. The company uses enzymes and other microorganisms in many different applications. For example, in washing detergents, textiles, and animal feed. The company is already benefiting from the trend to replace oil and gas-based petrochemicals, primarily through the use of enzymes.
Enzymes offer enormous potential.
Enzymes are proteins that catalyze chemical reactions in a very efficient and clean way. They are already widely used in industry, for example, for detergents, in the food industry, or for textile industry. I believe enzymes have a great potential in the future because they can replace problematic chemical reactions through sustainable reactions.
The population explosion and the rapid rise of a new middle class in emerging countries, which strives to improve their standard of living, building up domestic industries and infrastructure, means that resources in other areas are also becoming increasingly scarce.
Three further prime examples of companies that enable us to cope with resource scarcity are Lanxess, Umicore, and Yara. Lanxess is a leader in the manufacturing of synthetic rubber. These get used in combination with natural rubber to make vehicle tires. Demand for high-performance synthetic rubber is very strong. Tires made from these materials can reduce overall vehicle fuel consumption by a considerable amount. Tire labeling will be rolled out in the coming years in various markets to show their fuel efficiency, in the same way that washing machines are labeled currently to show their energy efficiency. Secondly, the company Umicore benefits from the need to reduce dependency on one single country from the supply of platinum. South Africa produces around 3/4 of the world's supply of platinum. Umicore, as a recycler of used platinum, can reduce the need for new high-risk mining projects. Shrinking arable land per person requires an increase in agricultural productivity. In the Future Resources Fund, we are invested in seed makers, fertilizer producers, and agricultural machinery companies. Amongst the fertilizer producers, we are invested in Yara. The company has assets spread strategically around the world. This enables it to optimize its raw material costs and take advantage of shifting demand patterns.
Since 2008, the Future Resources Fund has been investing successfully in the depleting and non-depleting resources area. It focuses on companies offering more efficient resource management and extraction technologies, yield enhancements, as well as innovators finding synthetical substitutes in the material space, which have the potential to replace the output of a depleting resource.